Hello and welcome everybody. So this is a surprising, exciting announcement from a few days ago. A little late, but today we're gonna be checking out OneShot the Pancake episode. I thought I was done making OneShot content, but here we are. But no, for real, this is exciting. I was gonna stream this yesterday, but it took a while for the game to pop up on itch.io, and so I was just like, all right, well, I wanted to check out pools anyway, so we checked out pools, which was good. I'm excited for this. I swear though, after I was done streaming yesterday, so this is a stupid me moment. So, you know, I was then like, as soon as I was done streaming, I was like, okay, I checked my Discord, and it's like, okay, this game is live, and I was like, all right, let me go download it. And they include a recipe to actually make the hazelnut pancakes. So, the funny thing is, all right, so here's the first page of the PDF. And the one thing that had me sending for a brief moment was the silica gel packets optional. It's a different game every stream. I can't keep up. Chase, welcome. I mean, hey, I put the variety in variety streamer. So, here's the thing. Silica gel packet as an optional ingredient had me sending for a moment. Because, I don't know how many of my viewers have actually seen this video. But, okay, so this is a video from me a couple of, this was like 2 years ago. Where I tried to make the hazelnut pancakes. Obviously not the official recipe now, but I tried to make pancakes, and the thing was that I'll just play the video. Okay, so I don't have a proper way to and see if that works. Good. So I had a can of hazelnuts.
Hopefully it'll turn out all right.
I put them in the blender because I was trying to get like dust for hazelnuts. And as you will see in a minute here, that is a silica gel packet that I put in the can of nuts because I was trying to preserve them. And I completely forgot the packet was in there. And I grinded up the packet with the nuts.
I didn't have the do not eat this packet.
You can see it right there. Right? So, yeah, that was a lesson that I learned. But anyway, when I saw, back to this, when I saw silica gel packets, I was like, fucking what? Like, okay, because like this video only has like 700 views. It's not a big video. It's literally something I threw on the second channel. Nothing wild. But I saw silica gel packets, and I was like, what? I thought I made like OneShot history or something, but no, that was just a coincidence. So I felt stupid. I posted it on Twitter like the second I saw this, and I was just like, did I do this? And I'm like, no, I completely overreacted. But anyway, yeah, so that was that was me last night. But anyway, I'm excited to check this out though, because I've been holding to play this until I streamed it. So without further ado, let us get started. Hi everyone. As you know, it's the 10-year anniversary of OneShot. Well, the original version anyway. I literally had to explain this to my sister last night, because I was like, yeah, because I was telling her about the silica packet thing, and she's like, dang, it's been 10 years already? I'm like, well, the original version is. So I thought I'd decorate the cafe. We opened extra early today, so nobody's shown up yet, except me. I can already tell this is going to be absolutely silly and delightful. Okay, that's enough. There's something just like so nostalgic about hearing the OneShot soundtrack again. Like, it's so good. I'm also really excited for Margin of the Strange too. I'm here on a very special mission today. Can you guess what it is? Does it involve a celebration cake? Of the pan variety? How'd you know? You literally told me a minute ago before the camera turned on. Oh, right. Ahem. Today, I will be showing everyone how to make Mama's special pancakes. And he'll be helping. Because he's a grown-up and I'm not old enough to use the stove without adult supervision. But didn't you, like, set things on fire before? Again, Nico is a confirmed arsonist. I think God counts as adult supervision. Oh, no, that's right. No, hold up. There was, yeah, because in the beginning of OneShot, there was, like, the fireplace puzzle. So, yeah, I guess that technically counts. Alright, then follow me to the kitchen. Okay. This is the kitchen. I cleaned it up pretty good. You never know what that we had a fire last week. Another one? Right. Robots are surprisingly flammable. My coworkers aren't here because they're still getting repaired for fire damage, so we won't have extra help today. Do you think you can handle it? Of course. I help Mama out in the kitchen all the time, especially when making pancakes. I even wrote down the recipe. Whoa, so many pages. And surprisingly legible for crayon. Like I said, these pancakes are very special, so I wrote a lot. It takes Mama a long time to make, start to finish. She even makes the syrup herself. Wow, sounds like a lot of work. Sometimes in life, you gotta work hard. Oh, it says here that we need cups of things? What are cups? Measuring cups? You have measuring cups? Not sure if I get it. Don't you cook for your job? How do you cook without measuring cups? Or measuring spoons? How do you know how much flour to use? I weigh it? Oh yeah, I hear that people in the city do that. Sounds like a hassle. They have to use a scale every time they cook. Well, we do live in a city. No, not your city. My city. Our city. The cities we have back home. Right. Using a scale all the time sounds hard. It'd be much easier if we had measuring cups and spoons. I still don't know what those are, though. Like, amount-wise. Maybe we need to get some help. Hold on. Oh, you brought a friend. Yep, and he's willing to help us. Willing isn't exactly the right word here. This better be good. Of course. I wouldn't call you if it wasn't an emergency. A dire, strictly sugary, delicious emergency. Sigh. You want me to do gram conversions, don't you? Maybe. So how much is this, so much for this not being a pain in the... Assuming that you do not need perfect conversions, I shall be able to help. This world is only calibrated to the metric system, and my database and other units only has a limited sample size that does not account for various contingencies. So it might not be exactly. How much does a cup of flour weigh? 120 grams, roughly. Whoa, you answered so fast. A simple query like that does not take long to... How much does 3 cups of water weigh? 720 grams. How about half a cup of beans? Depending on the bean. Oh, pinto. 70 grams, and why do you even need beans to make pancakes? How about 100 cups of ice cream? Vanilla. 21,400 grams or 21.4 kilograms. Are you having fun? Is a kilogram a steel heavier than a kilo of feathers? I was not expecting this joke to kind of come out of nowhere. Do not test my patience. Now that Proto is here to help us, we could continue. For those of you following along, you would need a gram scale. But if you have measuring cups and spoons like I do at home, you can use those instead. Would you prefer? It would probably be a lot easier. Next up is the ingredients. Since this recipe is so long, we should probably split it to 3 parts. It kind of is 3 recipes in one. That's what Mama does. You have to do it in a specific order for the best results. Okay, I'll go get everything ready. Quite the list we have here. I took a look at the actual recipe and I'm like, I kind of want to do like a redemption round of making the pancakes, but for real this time and not fuck it up or poison myself. These are hazelnuts. Mama always start with this step where she turned hazelnuts into hazelnut candy. You sprinkle them on top of pancakes later. She also says this recipe is pretty dangerous for a kid, so I normally only help with the first steps. First, you cut a piece of parchment paper with scissors and cut it into put it in a baking pan or anything that's heat proof. Then you need to get a knife and cutting board. I'm not old enough to use knives of my own either, so you'll have to do this part. Okay. Take about a half a cup of hazelnuts, 65 grams, and cut them up like this. Then you pick out all the big pieces. Then you don't want the crumbs because they'll burn. You can save the crumbs and just mix it with the hazelnut flour though. Smart. This is really cute, by the way. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Now you need a frying pan, but not for pancakes. Toast the hazelnut pieces on the pan on low or medium heat for 5 minutes until they turn brown and smell nice. Careful though, you don't want it to burn. They won't burn if I'm stirring the whole time. Oh, I think it's just about done. Whoa, that's fast. Does your stove defy the laws of physics? Well, I'm just a fast cook, I guess. But it's only been 3 minutes. All stoves and pans are a little different, so they heat up at different speeds. Okay then turn off your heat and dump all the hazelnuts into a plate or bowl. Or just the counter if it's clean. Then you wipe down the pan really good with a damp towel to get rid of all the burnt bits. You can put the pan back on the warm stove to evaporate off the water. You need the pan dry for the next step. Now the skin should be loose on the hazelnut pieces, so you can rub the pieces between your hands to get all the skin off. Are they cool enough to touch yet? Yeah. Oh, let me do it. Mama always lets me do this part. I like to use my sleeves. Wait, but Mama isn't around to wash my coat afterwards. If you use your bare hands, it'll probably take longer. Why not just use a towel? Smart. But not all the skin will come off, and that's okay. Then put the hazelnut pieces back into the pan, just like last time, but don't put it in any crumbs. I'll just throw the crumbs away this time, since it's mostly just skin and burnt bits anyway. Then you add a 1/4 cup of sugar to the pan, 50 grams. Now turn the pan on medium heat to melt the sugar while stirring the pan. Mama says melted sugar is super hot, so it can really hurt if you touch it. I'll stay over here. I can't believe something so tasty as sugar can be so dangerous. The sugar should start to melt at around 5 minutes. It might be different for this stove though. Once it melts, stir it even more. You want to melt all the sugar and coat all the hazelnut pieces with it. Mama usually keeps it on the stove for another 3 minutes or so, for all the sugar to melt. Okay, I'll keep stirring. Be careful, okay? I'll be fine. Oh, did you burn yourself? Nope. Just surprised it melted so fast as it did. Don't scare me like that. I think it's done though. Okay, take it off the heat. Hurry. Then you just dump everything out again, this time onto parchment paper. I'll pour it on a thin layer since I assume we don't want big clusters that will be tough to break up later. They'll stick together at least a little bit. And again, it's really hot, so definitely don't touch it. But once it's cool, you can chop them up on the cutting board. Don't try to break them with your hands though. Sugar can be as sharp as glass. Another cruel betrayal of the world's most delicious substance. Okay, it's all chopped up now. Do you have a jar or an airtight container? That will keep them crunchy while we make other things. Otherwise, the sugar will get sticky after a while. Say, what is that? Why are you looking in my direction? Because you're the smartest guy here. Because sugar is because sugar has hygroscopic properties, which means it attracts the water molecules in the air. The water molecules will then disrupt the crystal structure of the hardened sugar you just made. You heated the sugar up at about 150 degrees Celsius, also referred to as the hard crack stage. In this state, the sugar is hard and brittle and crunchy. But as the hardened sugar continues to pull moisture from the air and thus disrupting the crystal structure, it will lose its brittleness. Water is able to do this because it is a polar molecule, which means that it has two different charge regions. The oxygen atoms hold a particularly negative charge, while the two hydrogen atoms hold a particularly positive charge. We're learning so many things today, folks. This polarity gives water the ability to attract other polar molecules. And not only that, the pair of hydrogen bonds in the water molecules also. This goes for another 5 minutes. I'm learning words. I'll just put the jar with some silica gel packets. Again, I really thought for a brief moment last night that the silica gel packet thing was like because of my stupidity, but no. Silica gel, a form of silica dioxide, is extremely porous, with large surface area that facilitates the moisture absorption and retention. It has the ability to absorb 40% of its own weight in water and is used as a commercial desiccant? Big words. In our case, it would absorb all the moisture in the small enclosed space, the sealed jar. Good to know. Sometimes I like to mix sugar in my water before I drink it. I do that with syrup and milk. Reduced to a calculator. We're making the syrup next. Oh, the syrup is super simple to make. Well, I think it's scary, because we're melting sugar again. I'll stay over here, away from the stove. You can help me cut the butter at least. We'll need 2 tablespoons of it, 30 grams. Cut it into smaller pieces with a butter knife. Butter knife is safe for a little old me. On the side, we'll need a cup of brown sugar, 208 grams, which goes in the saucepan along with half a cup of water, 120 grams. Mix together with a small whisk and the heat over medium-high heat while constantly stirring. Don't forget to add the maple syrup. 2 tablespoons, right? 40 grams. Say, why do we have to cook this syrup to melt it, and the maple syrup always stays a liquid? You're looking at me again. Maple syrup contains invert sugars, which are structurally different from table sugar. Invert sugars have a better moisture retention properties that do not readily crystallize. It is typical to add invert sugar to syrups made with regular sugar in order to prevent the mixture from recrystallizing, which would lead to a grainy texture. I normally just use honey or corn syrup for that. Then it won't taste as good. I wouldn't know the difference regardless. Alright, you can't eat. Once the syrup boils, switch the heat down to medium low and simmer for about 2 minutes while stirring. Nico, can you pass the butter? Gamey Gamer, welcome. I cut it into little cubes like Mama does. Is that okay? Nice. It can be any shape. The pieces just need to be small enough to melt quickly once added to the syrup. Stirring it helps it melt faster. Correct. Then we just take it off the heat and leave it on the pan to cool down to eating temperature. Careful not to touch it though. Have you ever steamed buns, Nico? I've been making them a lot lately. I've only heard of them. Is it like bread? Kinda, but most of them have things inside. Bread has a lot of things inside too, like flour. Frankly, I don't understand why anyone would not use the metric system. It seems hard. My dumb American brain can't comprehend the metric system. Like something you do in a lab, not in a kitchen. A kitchen is kind of like a lab if you think about it. Cooking is basically chemistry in its own way. Now we're finally ready to make pancake batter. The main event. Yep, and it's a 3 mixing bowl recipe. 1 bowl for dry ingredients, 1 bowl for wet ingredients, and 1 bowl for just egg white. That's how you really know it's special, huh? Because of all the dishes you'll have to clean up afterwards. It's not a labor of love without the labor, as Mama always says. Looks like we'll also need a sifter and a whisk. More things to clean later. And a pan, don't forget the pan. Because otherwise it would just be cake. Actually, it would just be raw. We don't need to use the stove until the end, so I can help out. I can help out way more this time. The first bowl is for the egg white bowl. It needs to be super clean. No oil or it'll ruin everything. I like to wipe down the bowls with some lemon juice just to be sure. Did you want to take the egg separate out of the egg white? You can't mix any egg yolk into the egg white because egg yolks have oil in it. Because egg white is a pure protein. Protein molecules tend to link to each other with particularly denatured through mechanical force, such as whisking. The whisking process would also introduce a lot of air to the mixture, causing the protein mesh to become a foam. Oil molecules would disrupt the mesh structure, causing the foam to collapse. That is what you were going to ask. How did you know? Alright, back to the eggs. I like to suck out the egg yolk with the water bottle, but that sometimes can break the egg yolks. I can also dig it out with my hands, but then my hands would get slimy. I just use a separator. Oh, that's handy. It's handy because then you don't need to use your hands. Okay, now that we put the yolk in the second bowl, the green one, we can now leave the egg whites alone for now. I hope it doesn't get lonely. Try to interact at the bottom right corner of the room. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out in a sec here. It won't because it's just an egg. Half an egg. That's bottom right. It's a cake. Oh, while you're gone, I dug this thing out from storage. Oh, what is it? Why don't you turn on the switch to find out? Oh, a music player. I thought it would be fitting here. Does it play any other songs? It's only the birthday song, I'm afraid. Aw. I wanted to play heavy metal like in the cooking shows. It's also kind of funny that you have to light it on fire every time. I know. I like it though. Fire is cool. Fire is hot actually. I think this is a level 3 safety violation and therefore extremely stupid. Don't worry, the candle isn't real. Convincing though, right? Oh. Then it's just stupid. That's great. Wrong bowl. We should do things in order. Can I interact with anything else? That's the pantry. It doesn't actually have pans in it. That's the fridge. Fancy coffee machine. Coffee is for grown-ups. A fancy coffee machine. I kind of want coffee now. I didn't make coffee this morning. Alright, then we take the bowl with the egg yolk and mix it in with a half a cup of buttermilk, which is very tasty. 112 grams. You'll want 3 tablespoons of regular milk to go in that too. 45 grams. Mix it all together and leave that alone too. You can put it next to the first bowl so it doesn't get lonely. It won't get lonely if it's just milk. Okay, now we're gonna take the sifter and put it a half cup of flour, 60 grams. Oh, but then I gotta take a tablespoon of flour out, 8 grams, leaving you with 52 grams of flour. Right. Then add a tablespoon of cornstarch, also 8 grams, and then after that 2 tablespoons of hazelnut flour. The best part, 14 grams. Then 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, the other best part, 26 grams, and then 1 teaspoon of baking powder, which does not taste great on its own, 5 grams. And finally a pinch of salt, less than 1 gram. Don't add too much or the pancakes will be salty. Might still taste good though. Don't even joke like that. I wasn't joking. There are salty pancakes out there too, you know. I like mine with shredded vegetables such as... I will pretend I did not hear you while I sift all this flour. Oh, the bigger pieces of hazelnut and some of the brown sugar might not go through the sifter. That's okay though. I'll just add it to the flour mix after everything else has sifted through. Then you gotta mix it by hand one last time before adding it to the buttermilk mixture. You never answered the feathered question. I refuse to entertain it any further. I know fire is dangerous, but I like looking at it. I know. Did you know that you can start a fire with just sunlight and a magnifying glass? Really? Yep. But don't try it on your own, okay? Of course not. But for some reason, all of a sudden, I wish I still had the sun. I'm surrounded by lunatics. You want to pour the flour mixture slowly, then mixing it with a spatula real gentle. And that's called folding, where you mix the dry and wet ingredients together in sort of a cutting motion with the spatula. If you overmix, the pancakes will get tough. Though I don't know, because it develops the gluten in the flour. Gluten is a mixture of proteins found in wheat flour, which is created when flour is mixed with water and further developed into an elastic network of elastic polymers. Thanks. Gluten is great for making bread, but not so great if you want to make something softer, like pancakes. Some people are also really allergic to gluten, so I gotta clean the kitchen really well for customers with allergies. Aw, I feel bad for them because they can't have these pancakes. Sorry, my non-gluten eaters. This video isn't for you. Ice Rod, welcome. That was not much. This is the pancake episode. This came out yesterday. But Ice Rod, welcome. How you doing today? Maybe they can use a gluten-free flour? It might not be the exact same, but maybe. Okay, now we leave the batter alone for about 20 minutes. This gives the baking powder time to activate. It will also hydrate the flour. Rest well, batter. What does Ling have to say? Sometimes I like to mix sugar in my water before I drink it. Okay, so they just repeat dialogue here. Frankly, I don't understand why anyone would not use the metric system. Okay, we have this. Okay. Line of dialogue before. We only need to wait a few more minutes for the batter to be ready. We should work on the egg whites now. Okay, this part is really hard. You gotta take the whisk and whisk the egg whites a lot until it turns all white. Then it takes Mama forever to do this. An electric whisk will make it a lot easier. That's a thing? You know what's funny? So when my roommate moved out, like a few months ago, I was cleaning because he has like his own pantry and his own like cabinets and stuff like that. And I was going through like, you know, like the pantries or whatever. And he had, not only did he have a crock pot, but he also had an electric whisk that was never used. They were both still in box. And I've lived together with him for like almost 5 years. And I'm like, how did I not know we had these? What is this sorcery? Electricity. That's handy. That's why it's called a hand mixer. It's not actually, that's not actually why it's called that. A couple of drops of lemon juice in the egg whites will also help. Ooh, right, Mama does that too. I always wonder why that is. Because acid helps stabilize the protein foam. A slightly lower pH would be denatured proteins relatively loose, preventing them from folding back up. This allows the structure to be able to incorporate more air bubbles, creating more stable foam. Traditionally, the acid most commonly used for margarine is cream of tartar. Oh, I love tartar sauce. It's great in potato salad. Oh, we normally just use it for seafood, especially fish. I like fish. And before you say cats like fish, I can assure you that it's a coincidence. But maybe that's why they named a famous cat after tartar sauce? Tartar sauce is something completely unrelated. The name tartar in cream of tartar comes from the potassium bitartarite, a potassium salt of tartic acid, which potassium is a funny word. But I think it's a bad word in the middle, and I don't think I'm allowed to say it. Oh, that's great. Oh, shoot, you're right. Blankium. Pronounced podium. Podium. That sounds like potty. Let's stop talking about potassium. Okay, shut up. Potty. The egg's a soft peak right now, so do I keep going? Mama usually whisks until you can turn the bowl upside down, without anything falling out, of course. If I do a cooking video, I'm gonna have to attempt this. I'm sure I'm gonna fail. Because it would just make a huge mess. Stiff peaks it is then. Half a minute of electric mixer sounds later, and it's ready now. So fast. Such is the power of technology. Okay, now we put the foam in the batter and then the full mixing thing again. But we have to pour the egg foam into the batter, not the other way around. Otherwise, it might mess up its consistency. I knew that. Oh, and you have to use this batter right away, or it'll go flat over time. Okay, I'll heat up the stove then. Oh wait. Oh. I don't really know the other steps because it's on the stove. Okay, I'll just take over then. Oh right, we don't have the regular griddle right now. It was damaged in the fire. I'll just have to make these in the pan. That's what Mama does. She uses really heavy black pan for these. I think it's called a cat's iron pan? A cast iron pan. That's the one. Silly me. We are not cats. Oh, and she adds a ton of butter to it. We only have stainless steel pans right now. So butter would definitely help it not stick to the pan. Something that I should have learned in whenever I did my video. Though that might not make very smooth looking pancakes. Butter tends to make it look more bubbly. But it'll taste great. I'd eat a stick of butter by itself if I could. Well, you probably won't need that much butter for this batch. Since I usually make pancakes on a big non-stick griddle, I might be a little rusty doing it the old-fashioned way. Unlike this pan, which doesn't rust because it's made of steel. I'll start by heating up the pan at medium heat with some butter, about 4 or 5 or out of 9 of the standard stove. Give it maybe a couple of minutes, then add a drop of water to the pan. If it sizzles, that means the pan is hot enough. Scary. Then you lower the heat down a notch to around 3 and... How much batter does your mom normally use? Let's see. About 1/3 cup. Conversion data for pancakes batter not found in database. Did they mention the silica gel packets already? I saw that on Twitter. These were included. Yeah, they did mention the silica gel packets. I also mentioned earlier in the stream about me being a complete dummy, seeing the silica, like literally have the image still like right here. Like, oh my god, was this because of my stupidity? But no, it was just pure coincidence. But yeah, they did go over the silica gel packet. Conversion data for pancake batter not found in the database. Enough batter to make the pancakes about 4 inches across. So we'll end up with 5 or 6 pancakes. You can make them bigger, but they'll be harder to flip. Okay, first pancake down. Let's wait about 5 minutes for that to cook. Then you can slide the spatula under it, and if it feels solid enough to lift without any collapsing, it's ready to flip, and barely any color. I expected this. The first pancake is always ugly. Cook it for 4 minutes on the other side, flip it, and done? Same on the other side too. I guess the pan isn't hot enough yet. That's okay. The Messiah shall accept the ugly pancake as sacrifice. Now, to make the rest. Don't forget to add more butter between each pancake. I'll crank the heat up a notch to 4 this time. Maybe it will help it brown better. I don't want it to turn up too high because it might burn. Nothing's sadder than a burnt pancake. Every stove is different though, so these definitely aren't hard numbers. Oh, this pancake turned out much nicer. But the pan is too hot now, so I might add butter. So if I add more butter now, it'll explode. Scary. Because butter is an emulsion of fat and water, both of which do not mix well with each other. The explosions are caused by the water rapidly turning into steam under high temperatures. Yep, that's why you don't put out a grass fire with water. I'll lower the heat back to 3 for now. Guess we could just add the heat as we cook the rest. And done. I know fire is dangerous. Okay, we've seen this conversation already. I was just seeing if they had like different dialogue. I love this like happy birthday remix of the library stroll. Are we just about ready to put everything together? Yep. Let me do it. Okay, so we stack the pancakes and add a square of butter to it like this. And then, where's the syrup? Over here on the stove. Back in the danger zone. It was starting to congeal, so I'm warming it back up. Caramel syrups tend to solidify after a while, especially in our case since it's not a true caramel, so it'll get gritty as it cools. Nothing a few minutes on the stove can't fix though. But you have to stir the entire time or it might burn. Yuck. Okay, then we pour the warm but not burnt syrup over the top and sprinkle the candy hazelnuts on top of that. And done. It's beautiful. Oh my god, Fox, you're finally learning how to make pancakes. Okay, so we got lots of love put into it. Lots of friendship. Maybe not peak friendship. And maybe not peak brown sugar. But, you know, some protein, some sugar, some fats. But lots of love. Now, normally, I love that they use the plush for this. Now, normally, I would eat the whole thing myself, but you guys work so hard on this. So we should all share. I cannot eat. Oh, right. Well, oh well, more for me. I'll just eat the extra pancake that didn't fit the stack. But that's the sad one. Sad, lonely, undecorated. Never mind. Professional at work. You want to eat the rest of these at the table? Yeah. Alright then, let's take a break from the kitchen. Galactum, welcome. How are you doing today? The fruit of our labor. It's not actually fruit. I'm still here for some reason. Oh ho. Oh no. I completely forgot we opened early today. How long have you guys been waiting? 31 minutes and 47 seconds. Is that how long we've been live? That's how long we've been live. I'm sure. Probably. Probably. That's how long we've been playing. Oh, I just got here. Hi, Nico. Hi, Alula. Hi, Lamplighter Man. I have a name. What you guys doing back in the kitchen? I was teaching Ling how to make pancakes. But doesn't Ling already know how to make pancakes? Not these special ones that my mama makes. And thank you for sharing that with me. I learned a lot today. Let's see. Just how long have you been in the game, I guess? Yeah, that's... I'm pretty sure that's programmed to do that. So the I like, considering like the other nonsense that OneShot has, I wouldn't be surprised. So the master has become the student. Mostly about molecules, though. I can see why you like these so much now. It's a very involved recipe. Almost more like a cake than a pancake. What? That's so cool. Me next, me next. I get to go next. Oh, you want to learn to make these pancakes too? You might be a little too young. Even an older kid like Nico is scared of some parts. Hey, I wasn't scared. It's just self-defense. Like Kung Fu? Huh? Were you karate chopping all the pots and pans because you were scared? What? No. Because I would. Do you mean like self-preservation? Yeah, that. I don't know that word. I just don't want to be near the hot stove. Especially not around sugar lava. Exactly. Nico is just being responsible. Can you eat the lava? Absolutely do not eat the lava. And the responsible thing for me to do is not let Alula anywhere near the stove. Well, teach you how to make these pancakes when you're a little or a lot older, okay? No, I want to teach you how to make my favorite. No, I want to teach you how to make my favorite food. It does not have lava. Oh, in that case, sure. Yay. Guess it's open house day for the kitchen. Let's see. Do you got any bread? Sure, but it's just pre-sliced, not the loaves you guys normally have. That's even better. Now we don't have to cut it. Okay, now you gotta cook up the bread in a pan over the hot coals. We have a toaster. That's even better. Now get some yogurt and mix some salt and seasons. Seasons? Like spring and summer? Haha, of course not, silly. Winter it is. It's not what I mean, and you know it. I'm assuming you want sea moss salt. We got a shipment from the Glen a while ago. We also have garlic salt, which tastes similar but a lot stronger. Give me the garlics. We don't have this much back home. Okay, mix the salt with the yogurt and just spread it on this bread with a spoon. Then, I like to rip up some fish into little pieces and put it on the top. Smoked fish, not alive. Do you got any? We have some smoked salmon. Would that work? My favorite. Then I like to put some seeds on top of the fish to make it crunchy. Will the I can't pronounce this word. Artisanal toasted sesame seeds work? I'll take it. We have another thing to cook. Let's see. I think the time starts counting when you go into the kitchen. You should be easy to check with the VOD. Oh, definitely. So, okay, this one has okay, let me move my head. It has low energy. Well, not low energy, but medium energy, medium salt, protein, fish, 0 bird seeds, and sesame seeds, which are inferior. So, oh, you want to make something too? I was actually just going to order my regular jug of coffee, but breakfast won't hurt. Look at you. Eating. Food. Cover your eyes, kids, or your parents might get mad. Oh, this is delightful. Step 1. Toast slice of bread. Step 2. Cover it with butter, room temperature. Step 3, sprinkle instant coffee and sugar to taste. And done. It tastes okay. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, we have another thing to try out. It tastes okay. And that's breakfast. 0 sleep. Tastes somewhat okay. Maybe a little bit good for grown-ups. Not good for children. It's got some sugar. It's got a lot of caffeine in it. And no sleep. Amazing. Amazing. For lunch, I normally mix the instant coffee into some 3-minute noodles. The cup kind. You don't need to add the sugar. Or, if I'm really in a rush, I just put a scoop of coffee into a bag uncooked. I think you should leave. The kitchen. That's hilarious, dude. I should probably start the coffee machines. Do you want any, Nico? No thanks. Coffee's for grown-ups. I heard it's really bitter. Only if you drink it black. You might like it with a decaf hazelnut cappuccino or mocha latte, though. I only understood one of those words. I like it black. I feel like Alula would be somebody who would just drink coffee straight up. I mean, I drank coffee as like a 6-year-old. I was like, oh, this is so good. And that's probably why I'm like permanently damaged as an adult. That was so much fun. Too bad we didn't get to karate chop any pans, though. Please do not do that. I was permanently suffering from anxiety ever since I drank that coffee as a kid. Alula, have you been here this whole time? Don't go running off like that. Sheesh. Sorry, I got hungry. Foraging food is so easy in the city, though. The nice guy at the cafe feeds me free because I am very cute and also a baby. Can't argue with that. And he gives this guy here free food because he doesn't take care of himself, despite being a grown-up and his house is probably really messy. Hey, just saying. Whoa, whoa, what's with all the decorations? Is it someone's birthday? Did you just notice? I guess you could call it a birthday. It's the 10-year anniversary. Anniversary of what? Someone's wedding, or... I don't think anyone here is married. It's the anniversary of the original... Oh, right, you weren't around for that. It's okay, neither was I. I was, I think. What are anniversaries but a grim reminder that are inching another year closer to our inevitable demise? I wasn't around either. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm just here for the emotional support. Thanks. Yeah, a lot of us got here pretty late, didn't we? Especially me. Yeah, you really lost me there. No, it wasn't Magpie in the original one-shot, though. He just had, like, a different design, if I'm not mistaken. He had, like, a much smaller, little, like, tent. Though it was 10 years ago. You think I can remember that far back? He doesn't. But I'm gonna pass up the excuse to party. Hey. Hey. Anyway, where's all the booze? What a crowd. I'll say. Looks like we got a lot of cooking to do now, huh? Oh, I'll help. We can make pancakes. More pancakes. Pancakes? Pancakes. Count me in. I am always up for some breakfast for dinner. George, it's 8 in the morning. We're having breakfast for breakfast. Let me guess, you pulled an all-nighter on the manuscripts again. You know it, babe. Breakfast for dinner? Breakfast for dinner? For breakfast. For lunch. Because we already ate. Pancakes. That makes me nostalgic. Haha, we haven't even seen them in a long time, have we? Yeah. What are you two whispering about? Just reminiscing. Nico. These must be important to you. Of course. This is my mama's special recipe. They're my favorite thing to eat ever. Aha, how wonderful. You don't want to know how long these sessions took to make, though. I was there. But that time was not wasted if you spent it on something you care about. It's true. These pancakes turned out really good because we spent a lot of time on them. Sick. They won't make you sick. Unless if you eat 100 of them. 5,500 grams. Oh, that sounds amazing. Eating 100 pancakes. If they're as good as you say, we just might. Collectively. I can't eat 100 pancakes by myself. That's quitter talk. Speaking of whom? Lamp Man. I have a name. You're not going to bail on us again, are you? I was just gonna go back to work, but I guess everyone is staying, so it'll be super awkward if I left now. Yeah, sure, I'll stay. I could go on for a sec. I can go for a second breakfast. I am a growing baby bird with my body, and my body demands nutrients. Nutrients? But it's mostly just sugar. It's a party, so who cares? Sugar is a nutrient, technically. That means we get to eat as much as we want. That's the spirit. Spirits? There's no spirits here. Under his breath, I'm talking about booze. Magpie, we just said it's like 8 in the morning. What? I'm not getting much. Just a shot. Just a one shot, if you will. I don't think it's the right kind of establishment for booze. One shot. Kip's right. We just have breakfast foods here. Mostly. Like the hundreds of pancakes coming up. Or however many orders we get. Let's not keep everyone waiting. Okay, I'll get back to work then. See you in a bit. Hey, I said I wanted to help. Don't start without me. One shot. Boom. 10th anniversary. Thank you for playing. Thank you for all your support in the last 10 years. Credits, programming, title screen, Shipar Fate, all other art, Night Margin, writing, Night Margin, Pancake recipe, Night Margin, original concepts, Night, Eliza, Nico plush available on Fangamer, anniversary merch. See you next time. Yeah, that was great. Oh, and then just close the whole game. Yeah, that was cute. That's pretty much exactly what I was expecting it to be. Just like a short, cute little like side thing. And it was, like I said, it was just kind of nostalgic seeing like one-shot stuff again, because it's been, when did World Machine come out? It came out like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, this was just fun. So I guess I'm gonna have to do a redemption round of making the pancakes, but officially this time. So I guess stay tuned for that whenever. Hopefully it will not end in a disaster with no silica gel packets. I mean, I guess they're optional, so I mean, I suppose I could use them. Just don't grind them up. Imagine the game crashes and the pancakes are dead. That'd be pretty. Like, you close the game halfway through and you open it back up and it's just a destroyed kitchen with like the what's the name of the track? Somewhere I know, somewhere I don't know. I think is the track used where it's like Nico is dead, but it's just a desolate kitchen. That would have been great. But yeah, this was fun. This was really cute. Blows up pancakes with mind. This was really cute. We are gonna, you know what? Because I was just gonna stream this, but I think we have time to play another short indie game. So I'm gonna BRB for a sec, and we will be right back.